Good evening once again, brothers and sisters, coming to you from New York as the elected district leader here of Little Guyana, the largest diaspora outside of Guyana. Dr. Terry said that there were highly suspicious circumstances, and those circumstances must be investigated in an inquest where witnesses, including Dr. Terry, including three pathologists, or everyone who's had something to do with this, must come and testify, give their opinions, be cross examined, and also be truly investigated. And also the results of the toxicology reports, the scientific evidence, the DNA, the forensic tests. All of these tests was put together in one inquest, in one hearing, which is similar to a commission of inquiry, but which our laws prescribe that the magistrate of Tushan has the authority after being imposed upon by the DPP. The DPP, first of all, has to convene and direct a magistrate to hold an inquest. That inquest must be held at the place where this tragic incident occurred, and that would be Tushan. And at Tushan, we would have the entire court coming together and taking evidence, issuing subpoenas, inviting people to testify. If they don't want to come, then you will have to issue warrants for them to come and testify. Of course, they would have certain rights and they may not want to do so, but at the same time, you have to carry through the process. All the witness pathologists, police officers, relatives of Adrianna Younge, or parents, a grandmother, no one must be afraid to speak. Leroy Smith, the police officers present there, the assistant commissioner, all those other folks who were at the pool, friends, family, vacationers, the owner of the hotel, his son, all these other names that have been called, they must come and testify at the inquest, which is similar to the commission of inquiry, and hence bring out what they know. Tell us what you know. Subject yourself to cross-examination as to how the veracity, how truthful your evidence is, before we can move forward in terms of charging anyone. Because right now there is, although we suspect suspicious circumstances or highly suspicious circumstances or foul play, and there's so many competing theories that it was a homicide, that it was a killing here, there's a ritual killing, there's an unlawful killing, there was an accidental drowning. All of these things need to be brought out, especially as to how come no one has any camera or video evidence that can be subpoenaed from those who are present in these photographs. Come forward with your iPhones and your cell phones and take evidence from there. There's no need for the FBI, which has lost a lot of its credibility here in the United States. There was a recent former director threatening to kill, apparently, President Trump, and there's been many criticisms that they have been weaponized. I have had issues with them, and I wouldn't recommend them. I would recommend that as a sovereign country and a country with territorial integrity and the right to self-determination, that we convene our own inquest, to have everyone present, bring them. This is our duty to find the truth here. We have a public, moral, and legal duty as we govern ourselves and to save costs on spending money in a situation where so much has been done. Three pathologists, another pathologist, Dr. Terry here, and not getting to any kind of definitive conclusion. An inquest will bring us there, as happened in Jim Jones. Jim Jones was found guilty by an inquest to be charged by the Director of Public Prosecutions for homicide, for murders of 916 Americans. But because he had died and he had been killed or committed suicide by killing himself, he was not brought to justice in the legal sense of the term, and hence there were no charges instituted because it was found, however, by the jury. The five folks there, by a majority, only three of the five have to come to a conclusion for you to proceed on charges of homicide, or that there's no evidence found here of a homicide, or killed by or died by drowning, or whatever the verdict will be, or died by drowning inflicted by unknown folks, or died by being killed outside the pool and then thrown into the pool. These, I'm speculating, and I'm telling you, this is what the inquest does. It convenes all these theories, it discusses them, it postulates them, and it comes to a level where you have to find proof beyond a reasonable doubt, a very high standard, that someone is liable for the homicide or for the unlawful killing of Adrianna Younge. If there's no one coming up to that level of the evidence, the integrity of the evidence, the credibility of the evidence, the availability of the evidence, that is where Guyanese have to unite, and the players there, the cops, the relatives, the pathologists, including Dr. Terry, must all come together and have one hearing here called an inquest, as mandated by law of the laws of Guyana. We have our own laws that take care of situations like this. Chapter 403, where, how, and in what manner she died, and I've held and I've gone through this act, and that is what has to be done. And the coroner may issue a warrant to bring those witnesses and have them at a time and place mentioned, that's in the court, before the coroner to testify. They have to come and testify and bring documents as to what they have. And that is why they can be cross-examined, they can be investigated, they can be interrogated there in the courtroom. And that is how you get evidence to dispel that there were suspicious circumstances here, or that you get to the bottom of this. But the toxicology, DNA, and forensic tests, and everyone who was present there have to come forward and give that evidence. This is Albert BALDEO signing off now from New York, the largest diaspora outside of Guyana, the elected district leader, the first to have been done so from the South Asian and the Caribbean, Guyanese, Trinidadian community. Name it there. We have been fighting here, but these are issues that affect our constituents. And we are coming here to you live with my experience as a senior state counsel and prosecutor in Guyana, who has done dozens of these cases, and as a special appointee at that time to do criminal acts or to do criminal charges to bring them to trial. Thank you very much. This is Albert BALDEO. May God bless you all. Goodbye.